Hello, welcome to your Yin Yoga class. This particular class is focused on the wood element, which is targeting your liver and gallbladder meridians. These particular meridians are connected to feelings of frustration, anger and irritation, irritability. All of these sorts of emotions can surface when there's an imbalance or a stagnation in this meridian. Is connected to the wood element that likes to keep moving forward. When we think of this element, it's kind of like trees. So the trees like to keep growing, they like to keep evolving, they don't like to be stopped in their tracks, and they get it can create a frustrated energy when something stops us in our path and we have to find a new way. So the biggest sort of lesson with the liver and gallbladder meridians, or the wood element, is becoming adaptable and flexible and learning to go with the flow and find new ways when we are stopped in our tracks and when things aren't working. So learning to find a new way. Adaptability is a really big one for this energy, to move forward and trust new paths and new directions. It targets the inner and outer seam of our legs. So the inside seam of our legs is connected to the liver meridian, and the outside seam is our gallbladder. So if you feel like you've been holding everything together and you need to create some space, it's really helping to stretch out those inside seams. So today you'll just need some cushions. If you've got blocks or bolsters, that will be awesome. I'm going to get started. So dropping into a position on your back, you can just lengthen your legs out long, arms just open to the side. Take a deep breath in, closing the eyes down, long sigh out. Deep breath in, long sigh out. One more deep breath, long breath out. And slowing your breath down, just dropping into the present moment, dropping into your body, noticing any sensations that you're feeling within in this moment, here and now. Any emotions, any tightness, anything that's going on inwardly in your body, your heart or your mind. And take one more deep breath in, a long sigh out. Drawing the right knee into your chest. Take the right knee into your left hand. You're going to roll that right knee over to the left. And if you can, just find either a cushion or a bolster and stack that up underneath your right knee. Now, you might like to take your other cushions to the opposite arm. So you've got right knee stacked up on the left, and you've got your right arm opening out, supported by the bolster. Starting to notice this gentle twist, bringing you out like a sponge. Closing the eyes down, take 5 deep breaths. Really allowing everything to slow down, to relax, to unravel. Slowing down any of the busyness of your mind. Bringing your awareness towards both the breath and sensations coming and going in your body. Let's take 5 more rounds of breath. Slowly draw that knee back through center, give it a big squeeze and release. Coming into our first rebound. So just moving any of the cushions, bolsters out of the way, just relaxing on your back. Noticing whatever you can feel inwardly. Any sensations, any emotions, any places in your body which might feel particularly tense. Now this could be a feeling of tightness, energetic debris, it could be tension anywhere in your body showing up. Take one more deep breath in, And then draw your left knee into the chest. Catch the left knee with your right hand. Roll it over to the support of your props. Opening that left arm to the support of the props on the opposite side. You might need to swap them over, just see how you go. We always want to be more supporting the joints, so we're not just hanging out in the poses, so that the joints feel supported, and we can really start to get into the connective tissue, the fascia, like access these deeper layers. It's not so much about switching the muscles on, we rather want the muscles to relax. Staying with the rhythm of your breath. And see if you can surrender to the pose once you feel that sense of support, allowing your body to melt into the shape, to dissolve, to relax. Slowing your breath down. Sighing out through the mouth. Take a deep breath in. A long sigh out. One more deep breath in. And release. So our next posture we're coming into, it is called Banana Asana. So to come into this shape, you're going to shimmy over to the left side of your mat. Sweep your arms up above, overhead. Then take just your torso over to the right side of your mat, keeping your hips, your sit bones on that left side. You're starting to feel this banana-like shape evolve through your body. Taking just the right foot across to the right side, again creating this nice big side bend through your body. Then see if you can take the left foot on top of the right. You'll feel a nice big stretch along that left seam of the body, and catch the left wrist with your right hand. So starting to really open things up. If this feels uncomfortable, you could cross the right foot over the left instead. Let's just breathe here. This one really starts to create space. So I tend to feel like if you've been really holding it all together, trying to keep all of your emotions kept inside, if you've been not allowing yourself to feel what's going on, just been stacking things up, trying to keep it all together too much, where you almost feel like you're about to explode. This one, it just creates that sense of space. Giving yourself some space to feel those emotions, to create space within that, which then reflects outside of us. What goes on inwardly is always a reflection of what we perceive outwardly. So where in your life can you create the space just to drop in, to feel, to create more space, to unravel? And if this is particularly tight, this stretch, maybe you have been holding it all together, not allowing yourself to feel those emotions, to create space for yourself. This particular stretch targets the gallbladder meridian. It runs along the outside seam of the body. Slowing the breath down. Dropping into stillness, into rest. Taking 5 more rounds of breath. Really focusing on slowing the breath right down, allowing it to become deeper, louder, more pronounced. And release. Releasing the left side of your body, just relax in the middle. Notice what you can feel. Our rebound, the echo of the pose. Long breaths out. Release, relax. Let any stagnation, any energy, any dense or heavy energy, just let it go, let it pass, let it drop away. Deep breath in. A long sigh out. Noticing space, this new energy that remains. Taking as many deep breaths as you need here in these spacious moments in between. This is the time where the energy, the prana, the chi, it flows freely in your body. You let go of the old, any stagnation, anything at all, creating space for something new. Or just noticing this gentle, calm energy that's starting to move through your system. As your parasympathetic nervous system switches on, the fight or flight autonomic nervous system switches off. When you're ready, just starting to shimmy over to the right side of your mat, and we come into the stretch on the second side. So we take our torso over to the left, keeping our sit bones on the right. Sweep your arms up, catching the left wrist with your right hand, and then left foot steps to the left, right foot on top of left. So you're starting to access that banana shape. You'll feel the stretch into the outside seam of the right side. It's quite a strong one, especially if you're tight or if you've got any blockages through this gallbladder meridian. Breathing here, closing the eyes down, allow yourself to drop into that still point, that place of discipline through the practice, challenging both your mind, your heart to stay steady, to stay grounded. No matter what's going on around us externally, our practice teaches us to stay strong internally so that nothing can waver us. No matter how the world is crumbling or the chaos around you is circulating, you can always stay steady. You can always keep your center, you can stay grounded regardless of what you're facing. That is what our practice teaches us. So stay with the breath. Challenge yourself to stay unwavered through those heavier sensations, the stronger energies. Staying grounded, staying present, staying open. Trusting that whatever storm hits you, you can handle it. And if this is a challenge, just stay with the breath. Allow it to become a little deeper, more expansive. Noticing this nice big stretch, creating space through the side seams of your body. Just taking 2 more deep breaths. And slowly shimmy back through center, release, allow yourself that rebound, that spacious moment in between. Long breath out. Deep breath in. A long sigh out. 1 more deep breath. And relax. Just giving yourself a moment of nothingness, of stillness, your body to let go. Any tension in your mind, in your heart, slowly releasing. We can start to get frustrated when we lose that sense of control, when we are in a place of unknown, when we have to soften our grip, when we realize we're not as in control as what we thought we were. If this is something that you tend to face, the challenge is to just stay present, to stay anchored in the now, to trust what you can control, which is only the present moment before you. It's all we have control over. The next moment, the next breath. staying here now. Alright, from here we're going to move into our next posture. We're coming into dragonfly pose. So you're going to take your legs wide. This particular pose targets the liver meridian. So the liver meridian governs our blood, detoxification, letting things go. The liver, also, when there's any stagnation or blockages here, we tend to start to feel that anger moving through us. We feel frustrated, we can be short and sharp with those around us, we can become bitter, resentful. It tends to happen when something is not going our way or we don't know how to face the challenge that's in front of us. So if you tend to get angry and bitter and irritated quite easily, you might have a stagnant or blocked liver meridian. If you find that you drink alcohol and you get grumpy or irritated with alcohol, it probably means that you've got a weak liver. So these are just things to be cautious about. So these sorts of moves really help that fiery, livery sort of anger that can bubble up. And again, when we're working with that anger, the best thing you can do is just try to stay adaptable, stay present and flexible, finding new ways, new directions, new ways forward. It's like a tree that's been blocked. It can't grow, it wants to keep growing, it wants to move towards the sun, but we have to learn to be flexible like a willow, flexible like bamboo. Adaptable. So you can prop yourself up with this one like I have, with your pillows ahead of you. If you've got quite tight inner thighs, then you might rather just sit up and sort of lean back. I find it's quite nice to prop myself up, and if you actually place a block just underneath that third eye point, just between your eyebrows, that's actually the liver point. So you're just applying just a small amount of pressure here can also help to release any energy blockages in that meridian. We're having pressure there. And just staying with the breath as much as you can. Slow it down. Breathing into any tension you can feel anywhere within your body. Allow yourself to relax into the shape, soften, smooth out any edges. Relaxing even the muscles around your face. Relax your jaw, relaxing the muscles around your shoulders. Really ease yourself in. Slowly coming out of the shape. We're going to come into a gallbladder stretch, which is again the side seams of our body. So we're just going to move our props and either just place them to the side or the inside of your leg. Now this time you can either hook your left elbow into the meaty part of your thigh, sweep this top arm over, so we're accessing again that side seam, or you could just place that arm on the support of your props. It doesn't matter which way feels better, as long as you feel comfortable in the shape. As to the best capacity, just starting to feel into this stretch, opening up that gallbladder line. The muscles along here, the quadratus lumborum as well, getting a nice big stretch. So the foods that you can eat to support the wood element, liver and gallbladder, if you feel like you might have a blockage in these ones, are green leafy vegetables. Tends to be foods that have similarities to a tree. So kale, broccoli, spinach, all of those green sort of leafy vegetables are really good for the liver and gallbladder. So it helps to detoxify and cleanse the body, provide that nutrients and nourishment that we might be lacking. And also drinking just lots of water to help flush your system, to help detoxify. Lemon water is known to be good for it too. All of those sort of detoxifying foods to help flush out any toxicity, any energy, any stagnation in the blood. Sometimes around our menstruation time as women, so just swapping to the other side, we can get angry and bitter and irritable around this period because where the liver governs the blood. So around that time we can have stagnation or weakness in the liver chi, which is why we can get that same irritability. So just being aware of when this irritability is popping up in your life and where your triggers are, because it just means that maybe you need to support your liver a little bit more. You can practice these poses, you can look to your diet, or just give yourself some time for yourself, some space in your week, just to slow down, to nourish, to look after yourself. Closing the eyes down, taking about 5 more deep breaths, breathing into this side seam, breathing into any tension being held there, just letting it pass away. So we release physical tension through the muscles, the joints, the fascia, the connective tissue. We release energetic debris, and we also release any emotional and mental debris. We work with these 3 bodies in the practice of yin. So coming out of the stretch, now we'll just come down for a rebound, so move your props out of the way, easing your way down onto your back, and just take a counter pose. So open your arms wide, knees, feet hip distance apart like dominoes. Roll the knees to the right, exhale, inhale, center, and like dominoes, knees to the left, center, and then just relax. So send your legs long, your arms just soften by your side. See if you can move those props out of the way so your body is not touching anything, because that can sometimes interfere with the energetics that we're releasing here. Taking some deep breaths, eyes closed down, relax. Noticing whatever you can feel. You might feel tingling sensations. You might sense lightness or blood moving to different areas we've been working with. This is the time where the chi moves freely in your body. Any debris, any blockages are released. Energetically, this is where the magic really happens in the practice of yin, in these rebounds where we are the most yin of all. Relaxing the face, relaxing your jaw, let everything go. Seeing with every breath if you can even empty out the busyness of your mind. just put it to the side for now. Alright, from here, our next pose. Slowly starting to come onto all fours. We're moving into frog pose. So this one's quite a big one. So you come onto all fours, turning to the side of your mat. Now, if you feel like you need extra support, you could place a cushion or a blanket underneath your knees. Then just starting to walk your knees out as wide as you can manage. Maybe taking a bolster out in front of you. You just ease your way back. So you're starting to target this liver line, targeting the inner thighs. If this feels uncomfortable, your option to do instead is a half frog. So half frog, you would rather just lay on your belly, take your right knee out to the side, and you're still targeting the same meridian line. You're getting this inside seam of the leg. You could just relax as you are, eyes closed down, softening into the half frog variation. I'm going to practice the full frog today, so if anyone would like to stay there, just setting yourself up, knees wide, toes turn out wide, supporting those knees if you feel like you need that little bit more, and easing your way back down. Close your eyes, you can rotate the head any direction that feels good. You've dropped into this shape of a frog, targeting the liver point, inner seam of the legs. This one also works with the spleen, stomach meridians, earth element running through that front seam of the legs, front seam of the body as well. So the earth element keeps us grounded, it helps to nourish us from the inside out. Wood element helps us to learn to adapt, to be more flexible, to trust the process, and also to let things go. To release that anger or irritability, to stay present, moment to moment. Challenge yourself to stay steady and just to breathe into the shape. For those doing half frog, I suggest you just comfortably swap your legs over, do the second side. And slowly come out of the stretch, pressing your hands closer to the body. Gently, slowly draw your legs close together. Just coming to a seat, deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. Long breath out. 3 more. Inhale. Long sigh out. Inhale. Long sigh out. Last big breath in. And relax. Okay, our next pose. It is swan pose. So this particular one, again, you might need some props. We're going to press onto all fours. Start to angle your right knee out to the right elbow and lengthen your left leg long. Now, you might like to place a cushion underneath your bottom of the right side and maybe even a bolster out in front of you here, just so that you feel level through your hips, especially if you've got any joint problems or anything like that. Closing your eyes down, allowing yourself to relax. And if this one is too big for you, the variation to try rather is your deer pose. So you would just sit up, bend that back left knee and just angle your bolster ahead of you forward. You could stay upright, leaning over the bolster, or just stay upright instead. So sometimes that can feel a little bit better than the full swan. Closing the eyes down. Noticing the sensation of this outside seam of your leg connected to gallbladder line. Just starting to open up. Relax again, muscles of the face, chest, jaw, shoulders, upper body, all melting into the shape. Deep breath, sigh it out if you need to, let it go. Anything that's been bubbling up within that you maybe not expressed, that's been on your heart, just let it go, let it wash away. Feel that release, that emptying out, how much lighter it feels just to let things go. Anything that's been on your heart, on your chest, on your mind. Maybe any anger that you've been holding in and not expressing, that's been sort of building up inside. Sometimes that can create issues with these energetics when there's a lot we want to say, there's a lot of anger we want to express, but we don't have that outlet, and then we sort of hold it in and become this toxic, bubbling energy which is almost about to explode. That sort of passive aggression can be worse for our own systems when we don't have that outlet to healthily express our anger, to healthily express the energy. And sometimes if that is just something you experience, you could try screaming into a pillow or finding a healthy outlet to express the anger so that you're not holding it inside, whether that just means taking a few deep breaths or going to a boxing class and just expressing the energy. So let it move through you, not holding it in or suppressing it. It's just as healthy for ourselves to let things out, to let things go, but find that healthy outlet. My Yin teacher who taught me this whole practice, slowly coming out of this side, ease your way onto your belly and just allow yourself to relax in your rebound. My Yin teacher Jodie Vasilu, who taught me the practice of yoga, said when working with the liver meridian, it can be a good idea to write a fuck off letter but never send it. So if you've got a lot of emotions bubbling up that you need to express, you can write it out in a letter as if you're going to send it, and then rather than send the letter, just burn it or let it go, rip it up, but let those emotions be expressed, let those emotions be felt, be experienced, to be moved through. So you're not holding onto it and becoming this bitter, irritable person. Taking 5 more deep breaths in your rebound of choice. blowing it out, let it go. Deep breaths. Last full breath in. Long sigh out. And slowly we press up for our second side. Angle that second leg in on an angle. Starting to prop the leg up, especially if you feel like you need that little bit of support. You might place a blanket underneath. You might like a bolster out ahead. You're in your swan stretch. Now this one is a particular pose that if you've got any joint stuff going on, make sure that you really do use those props, that you feel supported, that there's no pain in the joints. If it does cause pain, you might flip over to your back. Try something else. A needle and thread pose, similar shape on your back, is quite a good one to do. Or again, come into that deer stretch. So deer stretch again, if you needed it, is just to sit up, bend the back knee and stay upright. You're still accessing these same meridians, these same lines in the body. You could lean forward on an angle in deer or come back into swan. It's up to you. So I find I got a little bit of sensitivity when I do this on my left side. Got a sensitive left knee joint. So I need to make sure that I prop up that hip, that bottom, so that I feel quite supported. So really trust those cues that your body is giving you. Close the eyes down. Just allow yourself that rest. Unravel, unwind. Deep breaths here. Switching on that parasympathetic nervous system. This helps to stop the release of those stress hormones like cortisol. When these hormones flood through our system in times of stress, it increases our glucose in our blood, which actually causes us to store weight. When your body doesn't know if it's in a survival zone, if it's in long-term times of stress, this autonomic nervous system, it just stays on, and this release of cortisone, these stress hormones, they just keep pumping out into your blood, and this glucose, this sugar, your body creates to help you in these times of stress. But if you're not doing anything to release that sugar, to burn it off, you're just going to end up storing that sugar as fat. So this is why sometimes in long-term periods of stress, we start to gain weight or struggle to lose weight. It is that release of cortisone, which is targeted by the autonomic nervous system. So in contrast, the yin practice, it helps to switch on your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps your body relax, unwind, and it helps to stop the release of those stress hormones. It tells your body, I don't need them, I'm okay, I'm relaxed, and things just start to work a little bit better. When we're in the parasympathetic nervous system, your body sleeps better. Every function of your body is improved. So it's the system we want to be running on. Taking 10 more deep breaths in this side, slow things down. Soften, empty things out. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Deep breaths. Unclench your fists. Take 5 more rounds of breath. Long breath out. Slowly come out of the stretch. From here, we're going to flip over onto our back, find our rebound. Props out of the way. Let yourself be still, steady, grounded in the space. There's nothing to do. You just get to be. Staying with your breath. Sigh it out if you need. take 3 more deep breaths. In through the nose, long way out. Last one, inhale, long breath out. Alright, we've got 2 more stretches to do. Your next one is your happy baby. So you can start with your knees to chest and either just stay there or grab the outside or inside seams or even your big toes. And then just starting to work with that inner seam of your legs connected again to the liver meridian, this blocked up, pent up, or irritation you might be holding on to. Any energy that just needs to move through you. Taking a few breaths here, you might like to stir gently side to side. There's a fly. Deep breaths. Breathing into that inner seam of your legs, that liver line. Sighing out through the mouth. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Let it go. Let's take 5 more. Deep breaths. Your last 3 deep breaths, slowing that breath right down. Breathe from belly to lungs, side out through the mouth, let it go. Last 2. Last deep breath in, long breath out. Relaxing your arms, relax your legs, rebound. Notice whatever you can sense, whatever you can feel in your body. The energy moving from place to place. Tingling, lightness sensations. You might start to feel like you're floating. More connected to this energetic form and less connected to the physical form. Where the boundaries of your body begin to blur. It might even feel like you're floating on a cloud. Floating on water. This freedom, this space, this lightness in your body. Just floating with the breeze like a leaf or light as a feather. Your final move, we're coming up to reclined butterfly. So this one, I like to set my bolster up. I've got a bit of a mullet thing going on with my hair. So I'm going to set my bolster up. So I've got a block behind me, a bolster set up, or you could just have 2 cushions lined up, or like a cushion from your bed set up. You might also need cushions for your hips for this one. So you can have 2 cushions out for your knees. Big toes come to meet. Hands behind you. Ease your way back onto the support of your bolster. And then now we're in that reclined shape. So arms float out wide. Knees are supported, back is supported. I'm getting this nice big beautiful chest opener, but also starting to work on this liver line through the inside seams of my legs. This particular move works the heart chakra, the energy of your heart, your lungs. It pretty much targets every meridian of your body at once, so we're getting a nice big energetic release. Close your eyes and just relax. Taking as many deep breaths as you need. You might even like to sigh it out or make a noise with your breath. Really breathing down into the depths of your being, into that belly, that stomach region. Expanding and exhale. Let it go. Soften your grip. Release that sense of holding on, trusting that sometimes it actually hurts us more to hold on than it does to just let go. That's pretty much the whole practice of yoga, is practice of life, is to love, to let go, to love, be present in the moment, and then when something's not for us, when we have to release it, we just surrender, we let go. With a deep breath in, a long breath out, we let it go. We move on. We have the courage to let things go that no longer serve us. To release our grip. Let it go. Staying with your breath. Staying in your heart. Staying present. Keeping that deep connection to your true self, connection to the earth, connection to those around you. Stay present, be here now. Stay with your breath. Allow that breath to become as deep, as full, as embodied as you need. Let things go. And breathe in that new energy. You've created space in the letting go to welcome in this new energy. So breathe it in. Absorb it into every cell of your being. Breathe in that lightness. Breathe in the new as you let go of the old. Let's take 5 more rounds of breath. Last 3.